Peace, family. Peace to you and yours. All right. Let me give y'all some time to come into the room. I know I am CP color people. What am I on? CP time, cosmic time. Pardon me. I was attempting to live stream from another device, another, apparatus. That didn't work out. So the old faithful, I'm going through my phone. All right. So Matrix 4, we're going through the phone, right? Remember the Matrix, right? We're gonna talk about that tonight. The Matrix. You was able to go into Zion through the phone. But nobody talks about that these days, the impact that phones have on our lives. When the Matrix came out, we weren't into our phones like that. We weren't remember, they're going into the phone to go into another world. So peace to the family, we're going into this phone and I'm tapping into another world. But I want to see what the world is outside of where I'm at right now. So let's give a roll call. St. Louis is in the building. All right, shout out to St. Louis. Okay, St. Louis is in the building. Let's see who's in the building tonight before we get started. Talk black to me. Harlem is in the building. VA is in the building. Brooklyn is in the building. Boston is in the building. Monterey is in the building. Houston is in the building. NC is in the building. Alabama is in the building. South Carolina is in the building. Salute. Chicago's in the building. Bakersfield, California's in the building. Seattle's in the building. Salute. Philly is in the building. Mound City is in the building. St. Louis is in the building. The Bronx is in the building. Portland, Oregon, Minnesota, Buffalo. We gotta fix these lights. It's kind of dark. Queens is in the building. North Cali is in the building. Avondale, Jersey City, Cleveland, Ireland is in the building. Wakanda's in the building. Throw your W's up, y'all. Shout out to Wakanda. This show is sponsored by Gold Drops, Gold Water. Make sure y'all go get y'all Gold Water. Miami 305 is in the building. Austin, Texas in the building. Jersey's in the building. Jersey's in the building. Everybody's in the building tonight. All right. And this is also sponsored by Movers, Full Spectrum Tonic. Okay. This is for cleansing your body and getting your blood right. Dallas is in the building. Phoenix is in the building. 845 is in the building. Power Kingdom, Poughkeepsie is in the building. Salute. We got a lot of family in the building tonight. You already know what it is. Detroit Red, Sacktown, California, 914-615. We see you. Peace to Empress B444. All right, make sure y'all hit the ones, y'all. Hit the like button, matter of fact. Don't even press one. Press like. Let Empress B444 know y'all in the building and y'all appreciate everything that she does. She's the mod, as they like to call her, but she's more than a mod. You know what I'm talking about? That's Melanin Mondays and Third Eye Thursdays. That's our sister right there. So, pardon me first and foremost for being absent on Third Eye Thursday. I was actually on the road again, on my way to the ATL. So now the KTL is in the ATL, red and blue pill. We've been out here this weekend doing We Buy Black. Shout out to We Buy Black. I'm a vendor, mama. Look, mama, I'm a vendor. All right. We're going to talk about We Buy Black. All right. Let's open that up by talking about We Buy Black and what I witnessed today and what other people, whoever was um, a participant or a visitor of We Buy Black. You know what you know what was going on. Talk about that 5-MeO DMT. I talked about that already. Y'all like that talk? I see. That video went viral. You know what I'm talking about? That video went viral. We're gonna talk about it though. Please believe me. We're gonna get into that. But first and foremost, I want to talk about where I was at today and the event that I participated in, and that is the We Buy Black convention. For anybody that's out there that don't know what We Buy Black is, We Buy Black is an online marketplace. I want you to look that up. Online marketplace. It's a platform, all right? It is the same thing, and it follows this, and I don't know if it follows the same business model to the T, but it's in the same category of an Amazon.com. Not the Amazon jungles, not Amazon Brazil, not the Amazon rainforest, but Amazon.com. Okay, one of the biggest websites, one of the biggest e-commerce marketplaces on the planet. So while Amazon burns, this Amazon earns. While Amazon shrinks in size, they are projecting the other Amazon to grow in size. Right? So when one Amazon burns, another one rises and things of that nature. And Amazon, pardon me, because anytime I talk about that, the Amazon fire, it just really leaves a real bad taste in my mouth. But tonight we're gonna comb and peruse through all of the evidence and through all of the information that we've been able to gather dealing with this whole the Amazonian fires. But I got information about other fires that are taking place. The whole planet is on fire, it seems, in the middle of Jason. Because you got to remember, stay with the narrative. We're still in the Jason months. Don't think police shootings and sex scandals and homicides botched as suicides are the only spicy things. No, there's a whole bunch of fires as well. It's a whole bunch of destruction and things burning during the Jason months, right? So the dog days of summer, right? The dog days of summer, the ritual of Sirius rising, and not only the ritual of Sirius rising, but the after effects of the ritual that may have been enacted when Sirius was rising, right? So you always got to look at what the spill off is, or you always got to look at what is the residue that gets left behind after we point out the fact that there are people out here, chaos magicians, who are taking full advantage of alignments, who are taking full advantage. The universe is conspiring for whoever's success is prepared to not only receive it, but to go out and get it. So anyway, back to the initial statement about We Buy Black. We Buy Black is a very successful marketplace for Black-owned products. I believe they started out their first products with a black toothbrush, okay? And then they gave you black washing detergent, okay? And then after that, they gave us the black, I forgot what's the other product? Black diapers. There you go. Black diapers, okay? Shout out to the young god out of Houston. Him and his queen, they are the ones who are attributed. I had the privilege of meeting them, And they're the creators of the black diapers. Not only are they the creators of the black diapers, but the brother's also the app developer who was the one behind WeBuyBlack.com, and he also built out a crowdfunding platform that was almost like and akin to a a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe. But he showed the family that you don't even need those platforms. You could build your own crowdfunding platform. You could build your own destination for the family to go to in order to fund projects and to fund ideas and to fund concepts by people who look like you and look like us or look like we, right? So the success rate to show that it's not just speculation is in the fact that not only WeBuyBlack.com exists, but that there's hundreds of black-owned businesses that exist. Not only do they exist, but they're thriving. Not only are they thriving, but they are growing at a pace that's almost in alignment with any other startup or any other miracle story about any of these big brands that people are so branded by and people are so infatuated by. They all have startup stories. They all have come up stories. They all have creation myths or whatever. They all started from somewhere. You know how they have that meme where Google and all of them was in a garage before? Apple, Google, Amazon, and a few other people started in garages. It's the same thing with some of our businesses inside of this network that we call not only the conscious community, but the black nation as a whole. But in particular, the woke marketplace, and in particular, the conscious community, because there's an industry that exists inside of said industries. There's a conscious industry and there's a woke industry. In those industries, people wear underwear, they brush their teeth, right? They need to throw the garbage out, because I saw black-owned garbage bags today. Now, this is solution-based. This is not speculation. This is not a workshop. This is not a lecture, because 8 times out of 10, people who showed up to a lecture never showed you niggas the results of some of the shit that they was lecturing about. Now you got lecturers that talk about history. You got lecturers that talk about research. You have lecturers that talk about all kind of other things. But how many lecturers were talking about some shit that they was going to do, and at that lecture they showed you the shit that they said that they was going to do? And not only did they show you the shit that they said that they was going to do, it's packaged industry standard. There's inventory. It looks presentable. And they've been doing it for a while. You don't have that many people. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been to the same lectures that you've been to, and I haven't seen that a lot like that. Now you have lecturers who are authors, and they show you their written works compiled in a consortium of pages, which are a book, and that's very honorable. The whole literary endeavors of a lot of the master teachers and the scholars. But here you have it inside of this convention center. Not 1, not 2, not 5, not 10, hundreds of melanated, and I'm not saying melanated where it's a black face. I'm saying melanated where these businesses are what can be identified as social entrepreneurship or social enterprise. What's that, Red Pill? Social enterprise is your product is adding social value to your culture, or social value to humanity or the community at large. What do you mean by that? I mean that if you have a toothpaste that's black charcoal or activated charcoal, that means that you're deterring away from the model of fluoride that so many people, doctors, dentists, and everybody says kills you. It's not healthy. It got you niggas with no testicular fortitude. It's making niggas shorter. Whatever it is, we know that fluoride don't work, right? The skulls of people hundreds of thousands of years ago, they don't got cavities. They don't got half tooths. Niggas got full sets of teeth, and they was eating shit raw. They was biting into horse legs with no barbecue sauce. They was eating chicken burgers, right? without the Popeye seasoning on it. They was just grabbing chickens and eating them. But everybody's teeth was still intact in a lot of those skulls that you see. So you have products like that. I saw hemp-made clothing. I saw health products. I got my hands moisturized right now. You might not notice it because the lighting is kind of poor in this place. But I got my hair moisturized and I got it steamed and whatnot. You know what I mean? My shit was feeling like the Amazon. It was very dry. And I'm in the South. So if the sun was, paying attention to me for too long, my shit might catch Michael Jackson. Okay? And I might have a whole bunch of forest fires. So my shit got conditioned. All right? There was a machine. They was able to do a health scan on my body with a machine set up to a big screen. It was crazy. Right? There were black-owned underwear brands. I'm not going to show you the boxes because I'm wearing them, but it's an underwear brand, and it is better than Hanes. Derek Grace was in the motherfucking building selling his board games. 19 Keys was in the building selling Gold Water with Blue Pill, and he was selling his crowns. You know what I'm talking about? My good brother from Athletics was in the building selling hats, clothing, jackets, jerseys. Kings County was in the building selling conscious clothing. There were a lot of vendors there. They had butter, they had soap, they had shampoo, you name it. There were toys there. There was a section in the convention center, right, where there was an actual jumping gym. The jumping gym where they jump and go crazy. The children, they go crazy in the gym. They had that. They had a area where children were learning. They had an area where children could draw. They were not neglected. This was not neglected children convention. You feel me? They had an area for them. Then, to top it all off, there was an entrepreneur class, a young entrepreneur class for any parents or any of the young entrepreneurs that are out there who want further information on how to become a billionaire. They had as their keynote speaker King Na, the young god. King Na, who's viral everywhere. What's the website called? WeBuyBlack.com. WeBuyBlack.com. And the brothers that are behind it are honorable. They have passion for demonstrating instead of talking. Right? The brother's meteoric rise happened quickly because he obviously has a very powerful team and he's about his business and he's cooking in a place like Atlantis, this magnetically charged because of Stone Mountain, this magnetically charged because of the red clay, this magnetically charged because there's fucking gold inside of those mountains. This magnetically charged because of all of the forests. If you ever made it to the top of Stone Mountain and you did a 360, you'll see that the whole of the A-Town is a fucking forest. It's a big jungle. It's all trees. No wonder trees sell so good out here. You know what I'm talking about? No wonder trees burn so much in the bumper clock. You know what I mean? Because the whole goddamn town, and remember, it's a perimeter. It's a town. It's a circle. It's all surrounded. And there's 7 mountains that are adjacent to Stone Mountain. You have Arabian Mountain. There's all of these mountains. Remember, Stone Mountain, you can Google this. You can ask Siri this. This is a Snapple bottle top fact. That Stone Mountain is the most quarried quartz in America, the United States of America, maybe the world. Did you hear what I just said? This Stone Mountain is the most quarried piece of quartz. It's not a mountain, it's quartz, right? It was Stone Mountain initially was what? The same thing that Manhattan, Turtle Island was. Sacred grounds where the rituals took place, where our ancestors were going in and doing big rituals. Who usurped that in Atlanta specifically? Who usurped that? The might is right. Who usurped that? The Jesuits. Who usurped that? The Confederates. Who usurped that? The occult, esoteric, demonic, satanic, KKK, the Ku Klux Klan who read from the Quran. All right? These are Satanists. These are occultists of the highest order. All right? Of the highest order. So what did they do? They went and took that, because what quarry means is that they blast slabs of that rock and they take it and do what? They make buildings with it. They make pillars with it. They make columns with it. So Masons do what? They take sacred stone. They take ancestral mounds. They take all of the things that your energy and your power, the same way that they took the obelisk, right? Or the Tekkenus, and they did what? They repositioned them on the energy grids that they are being powered from. So right in the Vatican, you have a Tekkenu straight out of Kemet. It is from Kemet. It is of limestone. It is of a certain kind of precious stone that absorbs energy and stores it. They took that and they have it at the Vatican, they have it in London, and they have it in Central Park, right on 5th Avenue, with all of the rich conquistadors, crackers, pilgrims, Neanderthals, whatever you want to call them, with all of them domiciled. Right in behind the Metropolitan Museum, with all of the other stolen artifacts from the nations in the quote-unquote old world, when they took it over and implemented what is known as New World Order. Because niggas be trying to inbox me talking about Red Pill. Brother Red, what are we to do before the New World Order? Or I think I'm seeing the New World Order form. I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about? The New World Order is in 1493, when all of the Christian or all of the Europeans tribes formed what is known as Christendom, and they got that piece of paper from the Pope that gave them the right to carry out genocide and to carry out highway robbery and to carry out inquisitions and to carry out imperialism in the name of the papal bulls, namely Inter Caetera Divina, the quote-unquote doctrine of discovery, the quote-unquote, and later on it becomes the Monroe Doctrine, the Dums de Veris, the Regalian Doctrine. All of these things is black and white. You're dealing with, what, like I said, paper soldiers who are out here fighting paper wars, and they bite niggas like paper tigers. These are the people who you seem to want to checkmate, and I'm trying to give you the pieces in order to play the game, Bobby Fischer. You're not, niggas is out here getting checkmated on the first two moves. You know what I'm talking about? They catching niggas like this with 1-2 moves, bang, 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 get out of here. So you need to know where the smoke is even beginning from. That's like trying to fight the Amazon fires, but niggas is in the middle of the fire trying to put the fire out. You need to go to the beginning of the fire. That way you could have a better chance of containing the flames, or you have to be able to stop it from advancing. So what you see, and it's very interesting that we bring up the papal bull, and we bring up Dums de Veris, and we bring up the doctrine of discovery, and we bring up all of these things, and we bring up the New World Order, because in the doctrine of discovery, it says specifically the planet got split in two by the Pope, right? The Pope split it in two pieces. It was one sphere and it was another sphere, because there were two empires that were responsible for defeating the Moors at the Battle of Alhambra. Look it up. January the 1st, 1491. In Alhambra, which is in Spain, the Iberian Peninsula at that time. Al-Andalus at that. They call it Al-Andalus at that time. There was a battle. And as a result of the Lord, and it was season finale of Game of Thrones. Look at it like that. Okay? If you want to really think about it, season finale, right, of the second to last season of Game of Thrones was the Battle of Alhambra, in which Boabdil or Muhammad X was the king, and he handed over the keys to the castle to a king and a queen, right? They was on some Barty Offset shit. They was come together on some, you know what I mean, two slimes come together to body shit. And I was King Isabella and, King Isabella and King Ferdinand. Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Aragon and Castile. Aragon is Portugal. Castile is Spain. You know when they say you speak in Castilian Spanish, that means that you're speaking in the tongue of the conquistador, or the quote-unquote, that's considered the highest form of their Spanish tongue is Castilian, right? Not that shit you niggas in Puerto Rico and you niggas in Ecuador is talking. That's a slave tongue standing next to the sovereigns of Spain. So the Portuguese were given one sphere of the planet, and the Spaniards was given the second sphere of the planet, based on the fact that they were the two kingdoms that defeated the Moors. Aragon, remember the dragon movie Aragon and Castile, okay? Frank Castile or the Castillo, or, you know, whatever. Castle. So these become Portugal and this becomes Spain. The two before 1619. You niggas late to the motherfucking slavery party. 1493, nigga. That's when it kicks off. 1493 with the papal bulls. When he started getting busy with the pen, the Pope. And he was like, yo, we killing everything that's not us. That's basically what the shit translates to. Kill everything that's not Christian or Catholic. If you can't convert them, kill them. Take everything from them. The Portuguese got Cape Verde. They got they got all of these coasts along the coast of Africa, looking for King Peter and whatnot, and things of that nature, looking for the Indians by way of India, looking for the spices. And this is their first big whole, this is like them just leaving Europe for the first time on these on these crusades and whatnot. So they get control of the Pepper Coast and all of those coasts. The Spaniards go with Columbus and they get control of the Americas. You get the first place that they land. This is on record is St. Croix. The first place that they land is in St. Croix, and they get bodied and they get chased up out of there. Okay, then they go to other places, but Columbus and the Spaniards take the Americas. And Portugal, the crown of Portugal, or the monarch of Portugal, of the crowns of Portugal, they get parts of Africa, and then they get Brazil. Okay? And then they get Brazil. Brazil, where's my likes at? Why is it only 100 likes? Brazil, at that time, right, is heavily populated by copper tone complexions, Aboriginal, melanated people, copper tone people, right? They go over there and they commit genocide. They go over there and they commit Holocaust, okay? They go over there and they turn that motherfucker out and turn it into Brazil, and they Christianize and they Anglicize and they homogenize and they domesticate a whole civilization of people. Right? And then they subjugate them, and then they do what? They convert them to Christianity, and then they break them through slavery and things of that nature, and they subdue them and they suppress them, and then you have City of Gods. Right? And in all of this time, and all of these, and all of this Holocaust, and all of this fucking oppression, they don't touch the Amazon. With all of the pillaging that they do, right? They allow a mystical, magical, powerful fucking historical, legendary place to exist and to thrive and to continue to provide gifts and to provide treasures. You don't know what the fuck has come out of the Amazon. You understand? Niggas had erectile dysfunction. Well, where the fuck you think the wood came from to help your shit stand up? The Amazon. All of that mahogany, all of the herbs, a lot of things. With all of that destruction that the Vatican and the crowns of Europe and all of them displayed, with all of the pillaging that they did, the Amazon was still allowed to coexist untouched, unmolested, and unscathed until this day. But now we find ourselves in this chapter, because this is a fucking chapter. Don't overlook it. Don't look away, little nigga. Don't wait for niggas to pull up with the Popeye chicken. You know what I'm saying? So you just want to ignore the truth. That this right here is a chapter in our global history. That they are destroying a large swath. Niggas is like, well, they didn't destroy the whole Amazon. That's how desensitized, that's how dehumanized, and that's how dystopian-like they have our people. We just, look at how the ancestor work. The great divine speaks through signs. I did a whole show, the last Melanin Monday, prior to this right here. I spoke about dystopian movies, and they were like, yo, is the world right now like Blade Runner, like The Matrix, like this? I'm like, nah, we ain't there yet. Right after that, with this Amazon shit burning down, nigga, that dystopian world that Hollywood prepared us for, because people threw out I spent about 30 minutes on that segment because people threw 100 different movies out at me. Right? They threw about 100 movies out at me, all dystopian movies depicting the planet dying, depicting toxic air, toxic water, toxic waste, toxic Avengers. You know what I'm talking about? Just toxic everything, nuclear fallout, endless winters, climate change. This is what the future of a dystopian society will bring. Nuclear winters. And the way they stacking their chips right now with these nuclear powers. God damn it, a nuclear bomb went off in Russia on August the 8th, the day of the Lionsgate portal. And they still got high radiation. The Fukushima, the fucking Atlantic Ocean, no, the Pacific got radiation. The fish, I saw a fish with a head on one side and a head on the other side. So what I'm saying is, the way that they're setting things up, the bees are dying, the Amazon burning, the ocean is radiated. The way that these people who we seem to sit back, my question would be is this: who the fuck is in charge of the world? Who the master of the universe? If it's not the goddamn, it's not, I won't call it the white man. You're simplifying something that's way more complex. That term white is a social construct. It came in the 1800s. It is a new concept. That's not who the fuck they are. That's the problem with us. We don't know who we're dealing with. We don't know collectively who they are. It's called Christendom, first and foremost. The same motherfuckers that formed NATO is the same motherfuckers who formed Christendom. It's Christendom. It's the Crusaders. Okay. And it's not the white man. Because it's the fucking Indians and it's the Asians too. All of them is in bed. It's not just Europeans. It's the Eurasian, nigga. It's the Turks. It's the fucking Asians. How are they not in bed if they gonna let the Amazon burn? Tell me that. You mean to tell me, I don't give a fuck where, if the lungs of the planet is burning, and I'm a superpower, and I'm responsible for 10 billion niggas, and I'm another superpower, and I'm responsible for another billion plus people, I'm just supposed to ignore that and carry on with chasing paper? No, I'm going to intervene. I'm going to create an emergency. We just finding out about some shit that been happening for weeks. They started burning the Amazon when the Stargates opened up, when the Lion's Portal opened up. Remember, the Lion's Gate portal did not open up August 8th. There's about 10 fires. Let me Google this shit. There's about 10. It's not just Amazon. That's the thing. Because when I know that the cattle ranchers and the president said that the NGOs are causing the fire, right? Right? But he's lying. Okay? There's fires in Amazon, Brazil, Spain, France, Turkey, and Indonesia. Look, what did I just say about the history? I just covered the history. I talked about Turkey. I talked about Spain. All of these places is on fire. This is the Jason months. This is the dog days of summer. You dig? This is the dog days of summer. Major wildfires. Let me read y'all some stuff. You know I like reading to y'all and shit. Reading is fundamental, my niggas. Major wildfires have ignited across Europe, Asia, and Latin America. The Amazon rainforest is the world's largest tropical forest. It's home to 30 million people and hosts the largest concentration of biodiversity on the planet. Now, let me just say this. Because this is how you know this is how you know we dealing with Avatar. This is how you know that we dealing with some fucking devils. They just said that the Amazon is home to not Brazil. Niggas be thinking that they talking about Bahia, where shorties with the fatties is at. I ain't talking about that. They said the Amazon forest is home to 30 million. That's bigger than Smurf Village, my niggas. You might have thought that there was a few niggas out there like the Sentinels and whatnot, just chilling under the palm trees, and you know, niggas is out here chasing rabbits or something, or swinging the vines. No. There's actual communities. So when you see those fires raging, why can't you see that they're burning people alive? How can't you see that they are cleansing a whole fucking a world of people? How you cannot see genocide in front of you? I'm feeling it. I can feel it in my fucking soul. That's how connected I am to the suffering. That's how much an empath I am. I could feel the death taking place. I don't need to wait for Tom Brokaw or Anderson Pooper to tell me that it's going down, nigga. I know that the media is controlled. You understand? I know that the media is controlled, so they're not going to tell me that they're out there massacring these people. But if they say that there's 75,000 fires. There's 75,000 fires right now. I'm reading it right now. Okay? The size of the Amazon is 550 million hectares. 1 hectare is the size of 2 soccer fields, right? So the home of 30 million people are burning right now. And the largest concentration of biodiversity. That means colorful shit. That means beautiful things. That means that's a clinical term or a scientific terminology or lexicon to hide the word paradise. That's just a that's a non-loaded term for paradise. The largest concentration of biodiversity. Translation: paradise, my nigga. Motherfucking Pandora, my niggas. Pandora. And it's quenched by the largest river in the world, right? It's quenched by the largest river in the world. And I saw the river on fire. I saw the rivers on fire. It makes 20% of the oxygen on Earth. It holds upward of 140 billion metric tons of carbon, and right now it's burning. So we're going to get into some things because I need my scientists to pull up and spit that shit that y'all do. Do that shit that you do. You know what I'm talking about? Give us the science of what the fuck is going on. I'm going to give you the metaphysics of what goes on. They said, I heard, it's been said, and word has it, that spirituality means breath, right? Spirituality, the etymology of spirituality, when you break it down, spirituality is breath. So if the place that holds 20% of the fucking oxygen that has something to do with breath, let me pull up last breath. I'm on my last breath. So if the place that holds 20% of the oxygen is burning, nigga, spiritual warfare. What the fuck is you talking about? It's spiritual warfare. If they burn in the forest and all of them, look, Palo Mayombe, translation sticks. This nigga the forest. Santa Maria, nigga, or Santeria. Nigga, that's dealing with forests. Obia, Jamaica, that's the forest. Nigga, Voodoo, that's the forest. Palo Mayombe, Congo, that's the forest. That's trees and leaves and foliage and biodiversity. That's where that's our base of magic. That's where we do our work. You understand? Like I said, Atlanta is what Atlanta is because they have it's a magical place. That's why black magic is on the rise in the A. Black magic is on the rise in Florida. Black magic is on the rise in many places where there's trees and there's motherfucking foliage, and they're getting in touch with nature, forests and jungles and shit like that. Brazil, they're waking up in Brazil at an alarming rate. You know that, right? Yeah, Atlantis. So they're burning a sacred place. Who's they? Who knows? Because look, it ain't just, I mean, all of these places that are burning could be all, what are you saying, heart? What y'all want to do? Y'all want to roll a dice and whatever comes up? You want to flip a coin? Is it heart? Is it the ancestors? Is it those spaceships that the motherfucking the NASA had to tell niggas that they keep seeing? Is it Nibiru? Is it arsonists? Somebody said that the places that are burning are chakra points. Is it the Most High? What is it? We should be able to come back with hypotheses and theories, but those amongst us who claim to be masters or who are in the master's class, we should be able to solve this riddle, Scooby-Doo. Niggas should be able to pull, because I'm ready to say I'm not ready to give humans all of this motherfucking power once again. Yeah, there's some demonic, devious people, and yes, the president of Brazil is burning the Amazon. That is a Snapple fact. He is responsible for burning the Amazon. That is something that I could prove. The chicken ranchers, the quote unquote pig farmers, and the beef ranchers, and a bunch of loggers, and a lot of other people who have financial investments in the Amazon. Brazil is growing. Brazil is one of the superpowers in Latin America. The president ran telling his people that he's going to open up the Amazon for business. So the best way to open up the Amazon for business is to burn it and graze it. It's a lot less strenuous than paying construction workers. It's a lot, the size of those trees and all of that stuff You're not just gonna run bulldozers and hacksaw Jim Duggan through the shit. You know what I mean? You burn it and then you escort earth policy. That's what you see taking place. But let's read about the other ones around the world. Across its 550 million hectares, more than 74,000 fires have started in the Amazon this year to date, an 84% surge from the year before, according to Brazil's National Institute for Space Research. Fires are a natural part of many ecosystems, but not in the Amazon, where they are almost entirely human-caused phenomenon. Let me repeat that. Fires are a natural part of many ecosystems, but not in the Amazon, which is a rainforest, where they are an almost entirely human-caused phenomenon. Farmers use slash and burn tactics to clear forest areas for crops. Illegal loggers and miners set fire to cover their tracks. In several instances, they have ignited blazes to drive indigenous people off their land. The fires in the Amazon have now been burning for more than 2 weeks. Their smoke has spread across Brazil and shrouded the country's biggest cities. Locals posted photos of flames, soot darkened sky, and blackened water on social media. Okay. While alarming, they're not the only blazes shrouding huge swaths of land in smoke. More than 9,000 people were evacuated as flames spread this week across Spain's Canary Islands. That's where the Portuguese took over, and that's where they conquered Moors. That's a specific place, the Canary Islands. Go and do your research. Wildfires also ignited this week in Alaska. Talk black to me, nigga. There's wildfires in Alaska. Denmark dispatched firefighters to Greenland to control fires burning close to population centers. And wait for it, hold a minute, major wildfires have also burned through Siberia. Come on, man. Come on, man. So there's fires in Alaska, Siberia, and fucking Greenland. And environmental activists expect them to set a new record for burn area in Russia by the end of the season. Part of the reason of these recent fires is the heat. This past July was the hottest July on record. Many parts of Europe shattered heat records. France, Germany, Poland, Spain, Czech Republic, the Netherlands, and United Kingdom. Listen to all of these slaves. 1619 Jubilee, right? According to the Bible, according to the Helios Biblios, which is a book of spells, little niggas. You know what I'm talking about? You can't dismiss the fact that ritualistically, spiritually, nigga, this is a spiritual war. And these dates mean something in the spirit realm. Not in your hypothetical, theoretical, you know what I'm saying? You niggas want to debate dates. No, we was here in 600. No, it was 1609. No, nigga, 1600. No, nigga, shut the fuck up. It's a number on record, and it's there specifically for a reason. And this year that you niggas is living in is said to be the last year of that 400 cycle. So why is nobody examining what's taking place all around the world and weigh that shit out? Listen to this, nigga. Alaska, Canary Islands, Greenland, and Siberia, and then all of the places that is directly responsible for the 1619 to 2019 Holocaust. France, Germany, Poland, Spain, Czech Republic, Netherlands, and the UK, United Kingdoms. The heat dried out vegetation and left large swaths of forest and grasslands primed to ignite. So they're burning out the forest, or they're burning out the grass, or they're burning out, you know, some of the sacred places in Alaska, Greenland, Siberia. So I'm just saying, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. Look at these pictures. Oh yeah, the locusts. They got the locusts on deck. The locust was in Vegas recently. You saw that? The locust was in Vegas. They got invaded by locusts. All right, let's go back up and come down. This is the glass of water in Brazil, right? That's what their water was looking like. Okay. That's Greece, right? I think Tyreek was in Greece recently. That's Greece. Shout out to that brother, cause he's been on. He's definitely on point with documenting a lot of this stuff. Look at Greece on fire. Look at Spain. All of these places in Moorish history, all of these places in Black history, all of these places in this is all papal bull, doctrine of discovery type shit. The Greco-Roman, the Greeks, okay, that's niggas' number one subjugator. Niggas is out here claiming Greek, Turkey. That's the Ottoman Empire. You know what I'm talking about? They the ones who, subjugated the Moors. Those the Turks that are out there running shit right now, hiding all of our artifacts. Indonesia. The things that they did to the Aboriginal people of that land is atrocious. The suffering they put them. France. We all know about France, especially when it comes to what they did to the Moors, especially what they did to Morocco, especially with the Battle of Algiers, especially what they did to the French, especially what they did with Napoleon, especially what they did to our ancestors in all parts of the world that speak French, like damn near all of Africa, Russia. I mean, a lot of people are not. This wasn't even spoken of. They just told you about the Brazilian fires, but none of this stuff is being highlighted. And I'm a person who I respect narrative. So I respect journalism that can basically tie certain things into a synchronistic pattern. You know, death is definitely equal in rebirth. Death is rebirth. You know, around the same time last year, keep in mind, it was the California fires, right? Let's look at the California fires, 2018. Okay? The California fires was the 2018. It was the deadliest and most destructive wildfire season ever recorded in California. All right? With a total of 8,527 fires burning an area of 1,893,913 acres. Okay? Right? Mid-July to August 2018, a series of large wildfires erupted across California, mostly in the northern part. Okay? They burnt down Paradise. Remember that? You know? Oh yeah, the fire in Oregon, you know. So we look at patterns. We pay attention to patterns. We don't allow patterns, patterns talk to us. You know what I'm saying? We're allowed to decipher things and break them down. So that's all I'm doing is showing you some shit that's going on around the world that you might not be hip to. But the Amazon situation is very unique, and it has a lot of people in an uproar. And it has a lot of people, speaking about praying for the Amazon and wanting the fires to stop, you know, and feeling powerless because there's nothing that they feel like that they could do. I had a sister inbox me and said if we all meditate at the same time about rain, that we could make it rain in the Amazon. And I said, that's interesting, sister, because with all of the magical systems around the world, you would think it'd be fucking raining by now. If any of these niggas work anywhere in the world, the Buddhas, them niggas is meditating right now in Sri Lanka, the niggas in fucking Angkor Wat, you know what I mean? You niggas don't care about the earth's lungs, you can't make it rain? All of the Indians on a reservation at powwows, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of these Haitian shorties at the brouhaha, motherfucking drinking brews at the brouhaha, pajama party. At the brouhaha pool party, you mean to tell me in between some brews that they couldn't fucking make it rain in the Amazon? So nobody's magic works. I don't want to hear nothing. Nobody's fucking magic works. You know what I mean? Or their magic is stronger than yours. That's a fact. Because it takes shit like this to show you, oh, nah, niggas is really not, you know what I mean? Like, they sent out a lot of bat signals. They done sent out all of the fucking Thundercats warnings, the eye is in the sky, nigga. Everything. Nobody's responded. They put the X-Men X out there. Nigga, nobody came with no water. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't want to hear about all of that fucking magic that niggas be talking about they got. No, this cracker got some magic and he be working that shit, cooking it during the motherfucking Jason months. And what is important is what we shared on the video that we talked about, the Jason ritual. The Jason ritual is dealing with your energy. First and foremost, nigga, they drink your tears. You niggas got tears that could repopulate the Amazonia if it burns up. You know what I'm talking about? So many Negro tears. And that's what they feed off of. They're Luciferians. So it's always turmoil. It's always shit burning. It's always destruction. It's always hearts hurting. It's always pray for this. Help the whales. We finna die. You know, all of this worry, chicken little shit. The sky's falling. The people dying. You know what I'm saying? Niggas die every day. Going through all of the processions of the equinox. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. Just invoking all kind of fear, all kind of energy from these sheep, from their cattle, all kind of chicken mania. Right? Remember chicken, whoever fed catfish, you could throw poop in the water and the catfish are gonna go crazy for it. Whoever fed a pig, you know what I'm saying, some nasty shit and see how they that's the fucking Popeye chicken shit going down. That's them Lucifer, that's them people cooking niggas and eating off of all of that gluttony. They feed off of that. They love that shit. They love it. They love the tears that people are crying for the Amazon. It's the same scene from Avatar. When the people were crying while them big trees were falling, the bad guys were smiling because they were feeling a little more, they were feeling a little more powerful. Why? Because they were attacking something that can't necessarily attack back. Remember, the Amazon is considered to be idealistically, it's the feminine principle. Okay? It's the feminine principle. So they're attacking and they're basically destroying and burning and pillaging the feminine principle. But what if that statue of Jesus caught fire in Brazil? Then what? Then what? Just to show you how detached the family is, because these niggas been waking up to the prayer breakfast every Sunday. Don't let that Netflix series fool you niggas. Niggas was watching it and was like, oh, look at the national prayer breakfast. Forgetting to fucking mention and to add into the evidence that you niggas been waking up for prayer breakfasts every fucking Sunday. What are you talking about? You were the choir boy, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You on Team Jesus, nigga. You part of the fellowship. If they sent you an invite to pull up to that little house that they got, you would have went. On C Street, nigga, you niggas would have been living in that house with all men who praise Jesus and no women around, nowhere near. So cut it out. You know what I'm talking about? Stop it. Stop it. It's not working. The collective is responsible for the curse. So here's the litmus test. Here's how I know that our people do not care about nature because they're so fucking Jesus out that they've been complete. This was the litmus test, not just for me. This is the great divine. This is, if there's any kind of intelligence outside of this planet that's watching us, they like, not only are these niggas going crazy for chicken, right? But these niggas don't realize that they're burning down the Amazon rainforest to grow more chickens because Brazil is the #2 producer of chickens in the world. They have impeccable farming ratings and whatnot when it comes to their beef, when it comes to their chicken. They are #2 in the world. So they have to open up the Amazon for more cows and for more chicken because they like, yo, these motherfucking trees ain't making us no money. They ain't making us no money. But not only would the intelligent life see that this planet is a bunch of fucking walking dead, they'd be like, yo, if we were to shoot that fucking Jesus statue, that nigga standing there in the middle of Brazil, that big ass statue, if we were to hit that nigga with the laser beam and make it catch fire, niggas around the world would die. It would be the Thanos snap. Remember when he snapped his finger? Niggas would be talking to their homies and their homies would just start turning into dust. Like, damn, what happened to Ray? Ray. That nigga's a piece of, he's a pile of dust. Niggas would have seen it, an update on their phone. Yo, they just showed them an image of the statue burning. Niggas would have just died. Right there. But when they saw the Amazon burning, people was carrying on with their life. People is carrying on with they every day. They didn't give a fuck about the Amazon. Oh, well, I hope they put it out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sucks to you, Amazon. Sucks to be you, Brazil or Amazonians. Nobody did the rain dance. Nobody ain't do the rain dance. Nobody prayed for there wasn't no global emergency, councils where people were flying planes filled with water or whatever they have to do. So if you can't trust $1 billion or billion budgeted, governments to step up and to stop something of such an irreversible effect, quite frankly, according to what the scientists say, according to what's being said by the media, and according to what people who are very knowledgeable, like shamans and griots and elders and people who are spiritually inclined to speak on higher subject matter, they were saying, yo,